Good morning, Washington. How y'all doing, everybody? Did you watch the big debate last night? The big debate between Barack Obama and Mitt Romney. How y'all doing, everybody? It's the 17th of October, 2012. And more rumors this morning that Marcus Broccoli is soon to be out as the Washington Post executive editor. I honestly, I do a site called fuzzface.com, okay? Go to fuzzface, fuzzface, FUZFACE.com. It's a little newsy site I do. I try to make it like just a bunch of local newsy kind of links and all that. I go to all the different websites and all that. And I have to say, local news-wise, WashingtonPost.com is probably, I think, the best local news website in the Washington area. If you want to pick the best, and I don't think any one of these local news websites is perfect, but I have to say, WashingtonPost.com has a lot of local news on it. And I think more so, and a better, more complete, I really do think that they're the best. Second place, I'd probably put WTOP. WTOP is a very good website, but a lot of the stuff on WTOP's website isn't local. A lot of that stuff on that front lead page there is stuff that goes to Nevada or, Europe or something, But for local news, I really think WashingtonPost.com is the best. WTOP is a close second. And as for TV stations, websites, you know what? I like WJLA.com. I think they have a really nice, organized website. It looks good. It's easy to navigate. A lot of local news on it. I like WJLA. Second place, I'd have to say Channel 4's NBCWashington.com. I think they also they do have a little more of a sensationalist bent, but it's also a very nice website. Lots of cool videos on that site. WUSA, the site is still pretty cluttered. It's not a nice looking site. They do have some good stories on there, though. I do like that the guy they just hired that goes in and does all the Consumer Reports stuff. He runs into some eatery and finds rat feces under his table and brings the camera. I like that guy. I can't think of his name offhand, but I don't need to know that. I don't like Channel 5's website. It's just awful. I'm not saying the quality of the news is bad. It's a horrible website in terms of pop-ups and irritating crap. Ditto with the Washington Examiner's website. It's just a lot of irritating. It's irritating. It's heavy. It's crappy. It's hard to navigate. It's hard to find stuff. Don't like it. So there's my little website thing. But anyhow, getting back to the Washington Post. Marcus Broccoli. Well, I do think the Washington Post website, so my original line was, I do think the Washington Post website's great. I think this paper has really suffered. The print edition has really suffered badly suffered a lot under Marcus. This paper is just not as good as it was 4 or 5 years ago before he came. And, I still think the news section still has pretty good, but I think a lot of the internal sections have really gone down the tube, specifically style. It's not interesting. It's boring. It looks old. It's dated. A lot of the stuff, and especially in style, is stuff you could have read on the web 3 or 4 days ago. And I still don't get what the deal is with this thing, the Guide to the Lively Arts. It just seems like something that you'd see in a newspaper in the 60s, takes up a lot of space, doesn't provide a lot of information. It just continually shows how the paper is just filler. This paper has become a lot of boring, bland filler since Marcus Broccoli took over, and it's sad to see that. My print subscription to the Washington Post comes up at the end of October, and I usually have it billed to my credit card. And my credit card expiration date changed back in September, and I haven't told the Post yet. So they're going to hit my credit card, and it's not going to go through, and they're going to send me a paper bill. And who knows? I may not even pay it. I may just say, I don't need that paper anymore. Honestly, I'm the kind of guy that likes print newspapers, and I'm telling you, just at the point now saying I really think I can live without the print Washington Post. And thank you, Marcus Broccoli, for taking me to this position. Hey, man, I would not be sad to see Mr. Broccoli. Bye-bye. Oh, I'm sure he'll go off back to the Wall Street Journal. Or I like what Tony Kornheiser calls the Washington Post now. He calls it what does he call it? The Wall Street Post. It's kind of, and again, it's not even half as good as the Wall Street Journal is. I think the two best newspapers in the country are the New York Times and the Wall Street Journal. I really do. Even if whether you agree or disagree with the editorials in them, they're just two really well-done papers. They're interesting. You look at it every day and you go through it and you go, that's a lot of interesting stuff in this paper that I haven't seen elsewhere. I don't find that in the Washington Post. I do find it in the A section, the main news section. They do still have stuff like that. But in the internal sections, it's a lot of big pictures. It's a lot of filler. It's a lot of old stuff. It's a lot of boring stuff. It's like Paul Farhi. It's just, the poor guy, he just kind of churns out these predictable, boring, okay. I don't know, man. They need to get rid of some of their current reporters. They need to get some new ones. They need to revitalize this paper and bring it into the 21st century or whatever. I don't know. Whatever. Oi Kavoikia. I know that's what I'm saying a lot. Oi Kavoikia. Okay, radio. We got some radio ratings in yesterday. I'm not looking at anything shocking. Although one of my radio gurus said it's interesting how WTEM ESPN 980's ratings haven't really gone up too much with the Washington Redskins. The station's owned by the Redskins owner Dan Sitter, and they have the Redskins on the station. And you're looking at WTEM's ratings, and they're really rather stinko potty. Where are they here? I'm looking at the 2554 numbers, which is the money demo. Where is WTEM? They're 19th place. 19th place, and that's with the Redskins. With RG3. Maybe they ought to change the call letters of WTEM to WRG3. Maybe the FCC ought to start allowing numbers in call letters. Wouldn't that be cool? WRG3. I think they're, what the hell? WTEM in the mornings, Mike and Mike, 20th place, the money demo. Middays, 16th place. Afternoons, 19th place. Weekends, 15th place. So I guess that reflects the Redskins ratings, on Sundays usually. 15th place. WMAL in the money demo, they're just above them. 18th place. Morning show's actually doing not horribly at 13th place. So, I guess, I like Brian Wilson. He's an old fuddy-duddy, and I think the show could be a hell of a lot better than it is, but he's not a whack job like Mrs. Fred was. So they're going to the Virginian restaurant Friday in Vienna, which is not far from where I'm at now. And I never been to the Virginian restaurant, but I used to go. There used to be a really cool used CD store right down the strip mall from them. And I used to always walk by the Virginian restaurant, and you always see people in their, walkers going in, and it just looked like such an old venue. I always felt like, I don't know if I want to go there. It just looks like only old people go there. So I would go to the Amphora instead. Now, the Amphora is a cool place. It's a little Greek family-owned restaurant there that's been in Vienna since the 70s. And I love their gyros in there. Really good gyros, and they have a lot of, they got kind of Greeky stuff. But they have a menu there at the M4 that hasn't changed in 30 years. It's the same exact, they reformatted the menu, but it's the exact same stuff. I don't think they've ever added or taken away a dish there. The food is good, though. I'll tell you, I've never gotten food poisoning eating there. So, what the hell? Thumbs up for the M4. I don't know what to say about the Virginian, but if you're going to go to some old place, that's the perfect place for WMAL to go. How's WJFK? Even in the money demo, they're not doing so great. 16th place in the mornings. Oh, no, wait. 16th place full day. 11th place in the mornings. The Junkies are still the top-rated show on WJFK. Arrington and Duke, 17th place. 14th place in evenings, so that's because of the Nationals' better play. That's when the Nationals were still in it, I would have to say they probably do better in the male demos, but I don't have the male demo breakouts. So there. So there, folks. So the top station in the money demo for the second week of October is Hot 99.5. Kane's fourth place, though. Num, num. And we do see TOP down at fourth place. You know, I do have to say that ever since WNEW started, TOP they're not first place anymore. They're second, they're third, and they're sometimes fourth. So yeah, WNEW, I think, is starting to have a really tiny impact 10, 11 months after they started. The new CBS All Newser. Where is WNEW in the money demo? Let's see. So 25th. Wow, they are like 25th place in they're 25th place full day. They're 25th place in mornings. They're 25th place in middays. They're 25th place in afternoons. And then they drop to 27th place in evenings. But, you know, I do think they're doing, you know, they're taking a few WTOP listeners away, but I don't think it's going to matter to TOP in terms of the revenue or anything. But the drip, 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 the drip, 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 CBS, the drip, drip, drip until Hubbard sells that station. Drip, 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 that's the strategy. I'll tell you. What do I know? If you want older oldies, tune into 950 WCTN out of Potomac. They are back to playing like 50s, 60s, 70s oldies. I think I heard Bobby Sherman on there the other day. La, 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 la. They do that between brokered sales. The station mainly sells their time to brokered parties, and they sold it to some guy who was buying for a lefty talk network, and they've sold to Spanish and religious groups before, and Spanish religious groups. So until they get to sell it again, you're going to hear more Bobby Sherman. So I remember my sister had a crush on Bobby Sherman back when she was a little girl. I remember we were at the Cherry Hill Mall in Cherry Hill, New Jersey, and we were at the Woolworths or something, and they had a magazine rack there, and it said, Bobby Sherman, 6 months to live. And my sister went, oh my God, and she ran over and grabbed that magazine and bought it, and we're out in the mall walking around, and she said, oh my God, Bobby Sherman only had 6 months to live. And she opened it up, and it said, Bobby Sherman, what if I had 6 months to live? What would I do? I'm going to Disneyland. So she was quite relieved that her teen heartthrob was fine. All right, folks, that's Dave TV for the 17th of October, 2012. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to help support DCR TV as we start our 16th anniversary. We're looking for 5 benefactors to send us $5,000 each. Because that would really help us out. If we had that happen, 2013 would be a great year. We wouldn't have to beg so much. We could put a little money away and say, okay, we've got some money in the bank. Because, hey, about half of our revenue here at DCR TV comes from your donations. So remember that. And that's why we've been here so long. And if you like DCR TV, if you like what we're doing, if you like how we're preserving the memories, these memories are going to fade away, even with the internet. We're here to help preserve all that. Remember all the great stuff in Washington and Baltimore, radio, television, and the media. And, a couple of bucks. If you can't make it 5,000, $5 will do. Any amount. But please send us a few bucks and help support saving, preserving the cool dudes and dudesses of Washington and Baltimore radio and television. Thanks for watching. Have a great one. Book 'em, Dano!